This is the Going Analog Quiz Show, and I'm Christina, your ultimate quizmaster. All the other ones, they're just pale imitations of me. But anyway, today we have a special guest. We're going to be harassing Pat Marino, lead game designer of the Op. Hi, Pat.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So, I was just curious, the Op is known for having a lot of really awesome licenses, and you put out a lot of different games, and you're sort of like the guy behind it all, right? So I was wondering if you could take one of your favorite IPs ever and combine it with one of your favorite games ever for your superstar mashup game ever, what would that be?
I think we always have all these ideas for our Coded Chronicles series, right? Of all these great IPs that we would do for those escape room style games. But I would definitely love one that was either the Gravity Falls cartoon that Disney did or Curse of Monkey Island, the old LucasArts computer game. I think both would be such a perfect fit for that kind of story arc and puzzle solving.
Awesome. So let's see how good your convincing skills are, and see if that comes out one day. But I was also going to ask you, in 10 words or fewer, what are you working on these days?
The easiest way for me to do that is to say, visit the op.games for all our hot new products.
Oh, very efficient, yes. And you get a hit out of it, which is great. But we're ready to start. Are you ready?
I think so.
So this first round is just multiple choice, ease you in, 1 point each, up to 5 questions. So let's get started with round 1. The title of this is AKA, also known as. And in case other people don't know, the Op did change their name from USAopoly fairly recently, to be very cool and hip. So I wanted to ask you about other board game related things that have changed their names or re-implemented earlier games.
Okay.
All right. This board game publisher company was originally named after Herman, Hillel, and Henry Hassenfeld, and later shortened to what familiar name? Is that A, Parker Brothers, B, Asmodee, C, Hasbro, or D, Hans im Glück?
I'm going to go with C, Hasbro.
All right. And you're correct. Very nice. Of course, putting together Hassenfeld and Brothers together for Hasbro. Nice job. See, very easy, right?
Perfect score so far, right? That's
exactly. 100%. So question 2. The European civilization-themed game Vinci won a Spiel des Jahres recommendation in 2000. Which hit game re-implements this game in a fantasy setting? Is this A, Ethnos, B, Imperial Settlers, C, A Game of Thrones, the board game, or D, Small World?
Wow, this is a tough one. It probably doesn't help that the only one I've played on this list is Small World. I'm going to go with C, Game of Thrones.
Okay, all right. C. Unfortunately, it was D, the one
World.
You played. I did not know that either until I was researching for this, and I was like, oh, that's very fascinating. It was re-implemented. So it was sort of a very generic European civilizations, and the different civilizations would decline just like in Small World, but they put in elves and stuff to make it a little more interesting. So here we are.
Makes sense.
All right. It's okay. You can come back on question 3. So which deduction game, originally published in Spanish, is also known as Incómodos Invitados? Is this A, Enigma, B, Awkward Guess, C, The Invitation, or D, Inhuman Conditions?
I feel like I'm really confident in this answer, but it still could be wrong.
Go with your heart.
Yeah, it's a game I really like, and it's B, Awkward Guess is one I've played quite a bit.
And you're right. Very nice. Yes. It was B.
All right. Yeah.
I just played this a couple months ago, and it was so good. Such a good, much better clue, in terms of the deduction levels that you need. So very interesting.
Yeah, we played it quite a bit at the office, and we're trying to figure out could we retheme this with a Scooby-Doo story or something?
I'd be down for that.
Version.
Yeah. So, okay, we're almost there. Question 4. One of the oldest known board games still played today. What 2-player game may have roots in the ancient Mesopotamian strategy race game that used tetrahedral dice called the Royal Game of Ur? Is this A, Chutes and Ladders, B, Parcheesi, C, Senates, or D, Backgammon?
Tetrahedral dice. It's been so long. I know Chutes and Ladders doesn't have them. Backgammon only has the gambling die that a lot of people don't use. I haven't played Parcheesi in decades.
This was me going down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. So
Yeah. I am going to go with Senate. I know that's a very old game. I don't know how much it's still played, but I'm going to go with Senate.
Okay, that was a good guess. It was actually backgammon.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were some, I guess, some evolutionary trends they could see between the games. So that's what they're talking about there. But yeah, no more tetrahedral dice at least. Final question. We have OG game Monopoly was originally designed by American game designer Elizabeth McGee in 1904 under what original name? Was that A, Community Chest, B, The Landlord's Game, C, Hotel Tycoon, or D, Prize Property?
I believe it's B, The Landlord's Game.
And you're right. Very nice. You know your history.
I was recently at the Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, and they have one of the originals. It's a round board instead of the square that we're used to. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a different setup, but it was all hand-painted original board. It was very cool to see.
Yeah, super fascinating. And, there were 2 different sets of rules and everything. So really, really cool. You did quite well. You got 3 out of 5. So nice job, Pat. We're in good shape going into second round. So how are you feeling?
Okay. I mean, my goal coming in, I was like, if I can get ahead of Aldi after, he had a rough set of questions there. I was like, if I can just nudge ahead of him, I'll be okay. So.
Yeah. You'll be fine. I think you'll like this next round. This was in homage to the op again, because in case anybody hasn't been to their website yet, there are quite a few awesome Jigsaw puzzle games there. So, of course, I had to take this opportunity to get jiggy with it. Okay. First, I'm going to show off the 2 puzzles I recently did thanks to the op. So thank you. There's so many Golden Girls puzzles there, but I was like, I have to get at least a couple of them. And I did them at the exact same time. So also very difficult to piece together so much beige old lady face, but I did it. I persevered.
It's one of our hallmarks of our puzzles in some cases is because we have these great licensed images, but they're not traditional puzzle images. So like we did a Mario one where it's Mario and then just a flat red background. And like people who finished that one were cursing us, and it's like, well, yeah, it's worth the challenge if you really want to go for it.
Yeah, it's your connection to the characters, and so. Okay, but now that I'm done bragging, round 2 will involve picture puzzles that are sort of partially pieced together jigsaws of real board game covers. So you just need to tell me the game. Easy.
Sure. Okay.
So your first one here, name the game.
Oh, that is Innis.
Very nice. That was quick. See, it's so easy. Definitely Inish. Is it Inish? Inish? I don't know. But anyway, Inish, you're probably right. So let's try this next one. Name this game.
Oh, that art style's got to be Root.
Very nice. You know your roots. Yes. Lots of cute animals. Great game. What about this one? Distinctive cover, I think. If you've seen it. And that's the tough part. This is a later edition of this game, just as a quick hint.
Oh, I think this is one I haven't played yet. It's is that Quanchai's cover for Pret-a-Porter?
Yes, very nice. It is Pret-a-Porter. Really crunchy, deep game, and awesome art, of course. So I love Quanchai Morio's covers, so I had to put one in.
Yeah, he does great work.
All right, you're doing great on these jigsaw puzzles. You've done a lot of them, obviously. What about this one?
Ooh, this one looks a little older. Art. Seven Wonders?
Yes, very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
So you can see some parts of the monuments. Nice job. And yeah, pretty distinctive, surprisingly, for an old cover. So nice. And your last one here. What is this one?
Ooh. Oh, I think this is my mom's favorite, so this hopefully is right. Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Really nice. Yes, you know your
Okay.
covers, and that's for your mom, I guess. Good job for me. And you have now 8 points out of 10, so you really recovered. Nice job. You know your jigsaws.
Let's just keep doing those. I like those.
I agree. I could do them all the time, but we have one more round for you, and there are 10 points for you to pick up on this. So we've got a good speed round coming. And in the speed round, you have 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can, up to 10 questions for 10 points. But remember, you can pass. So, just to be strategic, like a good standardized test way back in the day, pass if you're not sure, or take a random guess, and we'll just move on really quickly.
Okay.
All right. So I do have a theme for you also here. So of course, the OB famously develops many licensed games for awesome IPs. So your speed round for today is, do you have a license for that? So it's all about different licensed games. So let's see how you do on that. Okay. So I'm going to have my beautiful assistant Shu start the timer for us, and you'll have 1 minute. And ready, go. Name one Catan based on a licensed property.
Star Trek Catan.
Correct. What is the highest ranked licensed game currently on Board Game Geek?
Oh. Pass. I don't know.
Okay. Which cooperative board game is set in the licensed video game universe of Runeterra?
Wow. I should know this one too, but I'm going to pass. I don't know.
Nice. The Warhammer-themed game Forbidden Stars is a re-implementation of what other licensed game?
Oh, shoot. I know this. And now that I'm on the spot. I'm going to say Among the Stars.
Good try. It's okay. Which highly acclaimed licensed sci-fi game was first released in 1979 and re-implemented in 2019?
Dune.
Very nice. In which licensed game are you moseying your ship along or going into full burn to avoid reavers?
Oh, that's... Wow, I love this show too, and I'm totally blanking because I'm on the spot in the speed round.
Well, now you know your time's out, so you can take your time a little bit.
This one...
This is your last question.
Full burn. It's Firefly, the board game.
Yes, there you go. Very nice, very nice. So, it's tough, right? We've got 11 points for you total, though. So nice job, nice job. I'll go briefly over the ones that you missed. So the highest ranked licensed game on Board Game Geek right now is Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh, of course.
Yes. And then the cooperative board game in Runeterra is actually Mechs versus Minions. And you would either have known that or not. So
well, it's funny, like I heard Runeterra and my brain went the wrong direction entirely, and I was thinking like Rune Quest and things like that.
Okay.
So I went off the rails, but that's all right. Yeah.
And Forbidden Stars was a re-implementation of StarCraft too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But you did quite well. And I would say an 11 is like a Blanche out of all the Golden Girls. So great job.
Take that.
Yeah. So thanks again for joining us, Pat. Yeah. Tell people where they can find you and follow you.
Sure. Instagram and Twitter, it's at Dr. Pat Makes Games. And then on Facebook, just as myself, as well as on Board Game Geek, I'm always on there answering questions, particularly about rules for any of the games that we work on at the op. So if you're stuck in the middle of the game, post it there and we'll help you out.
We appreciate it. Just don't message you at midnight on your Facebook. We'll try not to do that.
People do that too. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the Going Analog Quiz Show, everybody. Now you can stop watching and go play a game.